Otter or sloth. So usually we spend the first little bit just chatting about whatever question it might be. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm reading them all, even though I'm not going to say them all out loud. Gorilla. Okay. Next slide, Dr. G.
All right. So welcome, everyone. We are exceptionally excited to have you guys today. The youth are really going to take the lead, and basically, we're going to be handing it off to them to really tell you about their work and about their experience this summer. But before we start, we were going to just give you um, an introduction from our students, and we've already done the popcorn. And popcorn is actually something that we've done all summer too. It's a way to kind of pass the mic, as we say, from one person to the next. So we're going to kick it off with an introduction from our students and their answer to the question. So I'm going to start, and then I'll popcorn it. My name is Dr. G. My name is Shanna Tharp Gilliam. I work at the Homewood Children's Village because I don't go to school anymore. And if I could be an animal, I would be a macaw, a bird, because they live a really long time and they can fly. So I'm going to popcorn it to Naya.
My name is Naya. If I could be any animal, I would be a flamingo. I don't know why, they just look cool. And I'm gonna popcorn to Mariah.
You know why they're pink?
No. Because they eat algae.
Because they eat a lot of shrimp. They're not naturally pink.
Because they eat shrimp.
Shut up.
All right, who'd you popcorn it to?
Mariah.
Hello, my name's Mariah. I go to school at Woodland Hills. If I could be any animal, I'd probably be a narwhal because I like the horns. Uh, I'm gonna popcorn Nadira.
Okay. My name is Nadira, and I'm starting at Carlow University in a few weeks. And if I could be any animal, I would be a Queen Alexandra's birdwing because like they're giant, pretty butterflies, and they're like big and colorful, like I am.
Wow, never heard of that before in my life. Go ahead and popcorn.
Popcorn APL.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alyssa P. Lyon. I am the Sustainable Communities Director at the Green Building Alliance and co-director of this summer's Learn and Earn. I chose an elephant because they're really smart and they're majestic and they're awesome. And I'm going to popcorn to Ellen, who I think is the last popcorn.
Did you send it to me?
I did.
Sorry, my internet's a little bit choppy. So if it's choppy, I'm sorry. My name is Ellen Conrad. I work with Green Building Alliance. And if I could be any animal, I think I want to be a cat because they get to sleep all day long in the sun. That sounds nice. Thank you everyone for joining us. And thank you for putting your answers in the chat. I love seeing what animals people want to be.
So just to give you a flow for the day, you've just heard our opening question and our introduction. Then APL is going to give us some information about how did we get here? What are the roots of this project? And then each of the partners is going to talk a bit about their work, and then the students are going to give us their learnings and their experiences. And then at the very end, we have debuts of their spoken word rap pieces. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to kick it off over to APL.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Just wanted to give you all a little bit of background of the collaboration between the Green Building Alliance and the Homewood Children's Village, how this whole Summer Learn and Earn came about. We engaged in a partnership with the Homewood Children's Village around a Kresge Foundation grant, Climate Change, Health, and Equity. The vision was to build climate resilient, healthy, and equitable communities. We received originally we received $100,000 to work in the Hill District, Homewood, and Hazelwood neighborhoods with about 30 resident leaders, talking to them about the effects and the intersections of climate change, health, and equity why it's important, how are we embedding that in their communities? And that, as a result, the product of that was supposed to be some form of policy or legislation. Due to the effects of COVID-19, we had to pivot our work just a little bit. So we thought, how are we still educating people while answering the needs of the time? So we decided to, let's start with the youth. With the Summer Learn and Earn program, we can still talk about climate change, health, and equity, but they can also earn from it. So if they need to contribute to their families during these dual pandemics, they have the opportunity to do that. So we came up with this really, really cool curriculum that staggered United Nations Sustainable Development Goals with art and science and advocacy. And so that's how we came up with the Change Champions. We're really excited about the partnership. We're really excited about this extended portion of our CCH work that wouldn't have come if we didn't hit on hard times. So we're really all excited to have you here. We will start recruitment for our fall curriculum for CCHE in Homewood, in Hazelwood, in the Hill District. We're starting that now. That curriculum should drop or should launch in October or November. So we're very excited. Tell all your friends. We need 30 leaders to participate. They will be stipend. They will be compensated for it. And Lord willing, if we are able to advance forward, we'll get more funding from the Kresge Foundation to actually carry out this legislation and carry out this grassroots policy making from this programming. So all of it is open to youth, open to adults. So we welcome everyone. Yes, Nadira, you are absolutely able to join. We would love to have you. All right, Dr. G, thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to pass it over to Mariah, who's going to give you some information about our schedule. How did we pull this off, Mariah?
Well, every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays we have SDGs. Every Mondays and Wednesdays we have Science Genius. Every Tuesday we have REPs, and Fridays we have Reflections and Show and Tell.
Thank you. And Naya, tell us a bit about our community agreements. How did we come up with those agreements, first of all? How did we come up with those agreements, first of all, Naya, and then read them through for us?
We all agreed to have some sort of rules. So these are the ones we came up with. 1, be open to possibilities. 2, one mic. 3, tell the truth without blame or judgment. 4, try to be as positive as possible. 5, uplift one another. 6, step up, step back. 7, being on time. 8, cameras on during session. 9, always be attentive and show we are listening. 10, be respectful to everyone.
Thank you. All right, so first up, we have Ellen and APL who are going to kick off the SDG section.
Okay, so this was the main portion of the Change Champions internship is based on the Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations, which are 17 goals looking to forward social, environmental, and economic prosperity for everyone. And so they're really versatile for teaching about all kinds of different social issues. So my name is Ellen Conrad. I work with Green Building Alliance, and Alyssa and Dr. G and we were the main planning team for this session. Okay, so each week had a different theme that touched on different goals. So for week 1, we had measuring a successful community. So that was goal 11 and 17. No justice, no peace, which is about like community justice and peace. Week 3 was no planet B, so it talked about climate change and climate action, especially locally. Fight the Power was about inequalities and how to overcome inequalities. Week 5 was about like resource use and climate justice and how those are related issues. And then Pay It Forward was more about like poverty, income, hunger. So it's been really interesting. And we're gonna have each of our youth present about their favorite session. So first, Mariah. Hi, tell me a little bit about what happened during our no poverty session.
During our poverty session, we talked about how poverty affected people in the community, in low income communities, and how it affected their mental health and also their physical health.
Absolutely. Was there anything about this that was surprising to you that you didn't know before?
Yeah, I learned how like people can still feel the trauma of poverty even though they're not in they're not poor anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we had Miss Halima Tammy Thompson come from Circles, and wasn't she incredible? She's incredible. Thanks, Mariah. Okay, Naya, tell me a little bit about our session about reduced inequalities.
Um, my favorite SDG was reducing inequalities, and our speaker was Miss Honey. She basically had, her and a group of other people had started an organization called Pittsburgh I Can't Breathe, and basically Miss Honey's job was to organize the protest, and they're trying to help stop police brutality and more Black equality.
Great, that's so awesome. And we heard from another activist group, right? And there was a group of youth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Black, young, and educated came to speak to us as well. Activism is awesome, and anyone can be an activist, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Hi, Nadira. Tell me about our session about gender equality.
Okay, so honestly, this session about gender equality was my favorite because like I never knew that there was a commission for gender equality in Pittsburgh. Like I did not know that was a thing. And like basically the ladies that joined us, they talked about like gender equality in the workplace and like out in public. And like another thing that I thought was really cool was that like they recognize the non-binary gender identities.
Yes, so important that people be able to express themselves and who they are. Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for presenting. So another thing that we did outside of our sessions, which were speakers and activities and games sometimes, is that we also did these challenges. So the challenges are just a way to kind of give nuance to the SDGs and the kinds of things we're learning in our sessions, and a way for students to earn hours outside of our usual sessions. So here's some examples. Naya drew this beautiful drawing. She's so talented. For quality education, it's called self-taught. You're supposed to teach yourself something that you would never be taught in school. So some of other students practiced Japanese, some students drew, learned the ukulele. Another goal was for peace, justice, and strong institutions. This activity is challenge is called Who Do You Call?, where students looked up different politicians that represent them and then researched what those politicians did. I don't know what a county controller does, so it's important to know because those people represent us. The last goal, good health and well-being. Another challenge we did was get moving and slow down. So get moving was finding a workout video online. Slow down was taking time to do meditation. Both things really important to our well-being. So we're so lucky to have these students with us, and it's been really fun. Okay.
Thank you, Ellen, and thank you, young people. So next up, we have the team from Equity and Power.
Good morning. This is Mary Omer. Also, Evie Damon and Donnell Pearl are on the call today. So we had the privilege of working with the youth one day a week and talking about equity and power issues. And one of the things that they did is created visual boards. So these are collages to represent their feelings about what equity and power and equitable development is. So we're going to have the youth actually share their visual board. So Mariah, do you want to kick it off with telling us about gentrification and sharing your visual board?
Yeah. Gentrification is when residents or business owners are forced to move because they can no longer afford increasing property taxes or higher rent. I created this slide. Basically, during gentrification, rent is increased to put more built.
Motion detected at the front portal.
Rent is I'm sorry. Rent is increased to rent is increased to place more buildings, to renovate more buildings, and that forces the people who live there to move out and for richer people to move in.
Very good.
Excellent. And these are just the other youth boards we wanted to share with you. This is Ryan's, Naya, Shamari, and Nadira. And how about revitalization? Naya, do you want to kick us off with revitalization? Tell us what it is and share your board.
Yes. Sorry. Neighborhood change and revitalization. Neighborhood change, improvement, and upgrading done by the bottom up by residents. But the most important point is that the neighborhood remains affordable for low income people. I basically was trying to show you what revitalization looked like, especially in Pittsburgh. So you can see like the point that was an example of revitalization.
Awesome. This is Aaliyah's, Brian, and then we have Mariah's, and Taylor, Andrea, Nadira. So redlining, we also talked about redlining and equitable development and redlining. We don't have a youth that will read this today. So I'm gonna read it. Redlining is discrimination when inner city neighborhoods are refused loans, mortgages, and insurance, and that's historical. Equitable development is the reverse. Basically, it's positive development strategy to make sure everybody actually benefits and gets loans, and especially people that are low income and Black and brown people. So these are their slides from redlining and equitable development. That's Ryan's, Nadira's, Mariah's. Okay, and then we have our last concept that we went over with civic engagement, and Nadira's going to kick us off and tell us about civic engagement.
Okay, so do you want me to go now?
Yep.
All right, so civic engagement is whenever, like, say there's like a community meeting or like a meeting with businesses coming to that community, and then like it's up to the residents of that community to make a decision for what's going to happen, rather than like these big companies making decisions for the residents.
Very nice.
That's Mariah's. And we got Nadira's, that's Naya's, and then Nadira.
Tell us about your vision board, Nadira.
Okay, so I chose these 6 images because like when I heard the 2 words civic engagement, the only thing I was able to come up with was like unity and solidarity. Like that's what I associate with that concept.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. We shared them with our community advisory board, which is residents in Homewood that guide our project. And one of them, Dorothea Hall, said, wow, they did good work. So good work, guys.
Yes. Thank
Thank you.
you. And finally, we have Mr. Tim, who is going to tell us a bit about Science Genius and debut our youth's pieces.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Timothy Jones, amongst other things, Chief Visionary Officer for HipHopEd. And one of our flagship programs is a program called Science Genius, which historically was taking place in partnership with science classes inside of schools. And so one of the unique things we wanted to do with Science Genius is in bringing it to Pittsburgh is not only having it in a different place outside of New York, but we also wanted to see what Science Genius would look like operating with out of school serving organizations as opposed to in school. And so thanks to Dr. G and Homewood Children's Village and APOS, we literally had a training with a group of 10 organizations the week before everything shut down. And so we weren't able to do the pilot the way we wanted to do it, which originally was going to be 13 weeks and have a performance showcase as part of the APOS summer conference. And so what we were able to do, and thanks to Change Champions and Dr. G, was we actually took a 13-week pilot, truncated it into 6 weeks, had it be a combination of synchronous and asynchronous learning. And we're really excited what the young people were able to come up with. Science Genius basically takes hip hop, the sustainable development goals, and mashes them together. And then the students are able to share their learning using different aspects of hip hop culture. So we are going to start off with a series of 3 presentations of their learning, starting off with Naya. So Naya, I'm passing the baton and the mic to you.
Naya, you never change.
Okay. Okay. Hi, my name is Naya. I really like to draw and I like to play my ukulele, and I have a dog. She is a monster. Okay. My main takeaway when participating in Science Genius, you really need to be on your feet. It does get hard sometimes trying to think of a rhyme in 2 days, but it's worth it. You might come into this program thinking you can't, but if I can rap, so can the next person. Slide. Using hip hop as an educational tool, honestly, it was pretty cool learning science while rapping. Hard, but kind of fun. It's kind of like teaching you things on your level. Slide. What SCG are you working on? The main SCG I will be focusing on will be reduce inequalities and clean water and sanitation.
You want to tell us something about your piece before we debut it? Okay.
It's a spoken words. I'll just say like the name of it. It's like the title is called Tired.
All right.
Hey mom, can I talk with you for just a bit? I promise, I'll make it quick. It's just, I may be feeling a little tired, my brain wired, feeling real undesired. Can't take it, hoping I can explain my feelings. Getting real hard to tell what I'm concealing. Mom, my feet hurt constantly. Getting real hard to walk, honestly. A constant need of laying down. Talking to you may help the wheels reround. I'm drowsy all the time, Mom. I don't have a clue. It's getting real hard to think things through. I think I found the word, Mom. It might start my pain. Hope you understand and take away the strain. Mama, I'm tired. I don't want to go back. I shouldn't have to say don't shoot just because I'm black. Challenging my protest with all lives matter, like we said that it didn't. Black lives matter to shed lights for shooting, stabbings, and killings. Mama, I'm tired. Hope you understand my feelings. I want you to know I will be dealing. Going around, speaking my mind, hoping hard work won't get set aside. Standing outside, hoping someone will listen. Legs weak, forehead glistening, but grandma understands. You were there too. Standing outside till your feet turn blue. Do you see what I mean? It is so unfair. hurting our people. How could they dare? It gets draining. Hearing your life doesn't matter because of simple pigmentations. How ungrateful. Ancestors slipped away picking your cotton on plantations. 400 years of enslavement, thousands of years of separations. They were tired, so I didn't have to be. But I'm sleepy, Mom. My brain is failing me. I don't want to go to sleep. I'm not done yet. I won't stop. I'm still upset. Do you see why I'm tired, Mom? I want to help, but sometimes my voice doesn't feel loud. Don't let me sleep, Mom. I'm not allowed. Not until I'm finished. I promise I vowed. Before I sleep, I'll do my best. No longer will my people be oppressed.
Woo!
Gave me chills, Naya. That's so good.
Thank you.
There you go, Naya. Pick it up from there.
What should the viewer take away from my video? It's okay to be mad about how you're treated. It's not okay to be tired. It's okay to be tired and wanting to do something about it. What is not okay is if you're brushing off the fact that you're being treated. Wait, I'm sorry, I can't see the whole slide.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try to make it bigger. Is that better? Does that help?
It looks the same.
All right.
Can you put it in percent mode, Dr. G? We can see like your whole browser.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry about that. Let me try to
But it also was that people were leaving comments, and so the comment like in the chat, so that was doing it as well. But Naya,
Okay,
you
I
can
can
just
see it.
summarize it. Just knock it out. You know
I
it.
can see it now. I'm gonna start from what is not okay is if you're brushing off the fact that you're being treated differently and pretending it's okay. That is literally the opposite of what I'm trying to say.
Very nice. Thank you. All right. Next up,
Stop.
Mr. Tim, I'm going to kick it back to you, and then we'll pick up the next person.
Next up is Nadira.
Okay, I used a picture of Bob from Animal Crossing because he's always talking about food like I am. And, I'm just a person that's trying to navigate life. Thank goodness for Science Genius because I forgot a lot of the science I learned in school. My main takeaways from Science Genius are I got a refresher on how the water cycle worked, which was really good. Hip hop and rhymes are actually really, I meant to say effective, but then also like my brain is stupid and I didn't know whether it was spelled with an E or an A, so I just had to rephrase it. And the environment, like as in the people, like APL and Miss Ellen and Dr. G and Mr. Tim, like they're very understanding and empowering people.
Oh, thanks. Right.
To me, I feel like hip hop has always been a form of education. I would argue that classic hip hop has always educated people, especially about life in the community the rapper was from. It gave insight and it woke people up to how rough life truly was. So for science, I have no doubt that like hip hop can educate the same way that classic hip hop did. These are my two main sustainable development goals: no poverty and good health and wellness. Poverty and good health are issues in the U.S. that are very relevant today, and our current system is failing us in both of these areas. And this is the performance of my piece, and all I have to say is that there is a metaphor present, which is lottery, which refers to the current system in the U.S. For those who do and don't live in poverty, it feels like a rigged lottery. They choose to terrorize us in quantities, being spun around and around. A measly few can live a life in good quality, while the majority they scoff and call us wannabes. In this country, wealth translates to health. Health means a lot to me. When I talk equality, they say, get you a lobotomy. Self-aware and filled with hate, authorities have spotted me. Kicking at the lottery, I'm opening the cage, fighting for autonomy. This is not all for me. I'm fighting for equality. Let's destroy this lottery. Poverty and health are two issues that are near and dear to me. If we can express our frustration through art, we can get the message across as clear as day.
Thank you so much, Nadira. And we have one more, last but not least, Mariah. Bring the black and the red off the top of the head. You dig?
Hello, my name is Mariah. I like anime, Luffy, and I like to read. Slide. My main takeaway from Science Genius is that you don't have to learn straight from a book like the education system told us. We can learn things in other ways like spoken word and rap. I think that using hip hop as an educational tool is a cool way of letting kids use their creativity and letting their juices flow. Slide. My SDGs are reduced inequalities and climate change. Slide.
Okay, hair. Okay.
Mariah, do you want to say anything to set up the piece, what the people are about to hear?
Well, don't go to Earth.
Okay, there you go.
So you want to go to that planet? I wouldn't even plan it. Their system's flawed, only rich is to be awed. But you still want to go to Earth. You're quite the optimist. Trust me, my opposite. Ask the blacker of the species. They'll tell you it's the embodiment of feces. Slavery happened centuries ago, but they can still feel its effects though. The latter criminals call them thieves, while the indigenous natives still grieve. You still want to go to Earth? Well, you're in for a violent fight. The only color acceptable is white. Your differences are too much to understand. You won't be welcomed unless you're on brand. You still want to go to Earth? You think they care about your core, but they care about their funding much more. They'll put power plants in the wood, poisoning the life in the red line hood, but you still won't go to Earth. Well, let me convince you not. Everything around you will rot. The toxins will make everything sick. The heat will make the air thick. The green will eventually stop until the last thing drops. Do you still want to go to Earth? I'll convince you no more. The choice is yours.
Woo, Mariah, woo.
Do you realize that unless you are a rich white male, this system isn't set up in a way to help you? The people who are in charge of this country won't have to feel the consequences of their actions, so they don't care about what's happening to you or what's happening in your community.
So thank you so much, and definitely you can use your reactions, or please give it up for Nadira, Naya, and Mariah, and Dr. G in the chat. Definitely want to thank Dr. Tyra Good and my brother Emil Cook, who also work with HipHopEd just to help make this possible. And yeah, so you just got to see a glimpse of what the possibilities are. And although we're living in a time where it's real easy to identify the obstacles, I'm so appreciative of Change Champions allowing us the opportunity to turn those obstacles into opportunities. So we look forward to continuing to build.
Thank you so much, everyone. Before we go to our closeout, I just want to thank the team. We have an amazing team of people, and you've seen just a snapshot of the dedication, the time, the just the spirit that Mr. Tim, Alyssa, Ellen, Mary, Evie, Donnell have poured into our young people. So I'm asking our young people if we would give a thank you to all of the folks who have been helpful this summer. Okay, so let's move on to our closeout. So Ellen, can you kick off this? Because you're like checkout queen. So.
Yeah, I love my checkouts. Every day we always ended the checkout just to see how everyone's feeling. And usually we have one of these little images to help us with it. So I'll start. Let's see. Right now I'm feeling about the weekend. Oh my gosh. Probably I wish there was something a little happier than the 6, but like happier than the 6. This has been such a great experience, and so I'm like a mixture of like sad and happy, but for the weekend, very excited. And I will pass it on to Naya.
I'm most definitely an 8. I don't know. I don't know why. I like the way he looks. I don't know. He just looks like he's planted something.
He definitely does. Popcorn it.
Can I pass it to my older sister?
Sure.
No.
Okay, pass it to Monet. I'm probably after this amazing poetry, probably a 6 or even a 7.
Nice.
All right. So,
I guess I'll pass it to Mariah.
yeah, awesome.
Thank you, Monet. This weekend I'm probably feeling like probably a 4. Just because it's the weekend, it's nothing special. I'm gonna pass it to Nadira.
Thank you for the popcorn. Honestly, I have to say I'm feeling 9. Because like I just like from my science team presentation and like everything else, I just got so many compliments. Like, I don't really know how else to react except for that. So I'm definitely okay, so who am I going to popcorn? Popcorn APL. I'm sorry, this is probably the 2nd time in a row.
Oh, totally okay. I'm feeling like a 7. I'm feeling this very like I'm very proud of myself and everyone on our team. So I'm like reminiscing and thinking about all the things I have to do now that Learn and Earn is over. And I'm feeling very honored to know all of you, and just want to say thank you for teaching me a lot this summer, especially about dedication, because working with youth is not easy. So shout out to all the people who do it. You're rock stars. I'm gonna popcorn it to someone I've been picking on all summer, Timothy.
Well, you are many things, and consistent is near the top. So I'm going into this weekend, I'd say I'm a 6. I live in Maryland, but I have so much love for Pittsburgh and spend so much time in Pittsburgh. And so I'm just thankful to be able to rock and do this. And I got family on this as well. So yeah, I'm feeling great. A 6 and an 8, because the 8 got me planning for what's next. So yeah, so that's what's up. APL still owe me a slice of pizza, so when I get to Pittsburgh, the slice is on you. But I just wanted to put that out there in front of all these witnesses. You owe me a slice of pizza.
I would like a slice of pizza too.
Facts.
Mariah would also like to join.
There you go.
Dr. G, I think you're last but not least.
Thanks, guys. I think I'm feeling.
Or Ellen is last. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Dr. G.
No, I went first.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Oh, but anyone who wants to, you can put your checkout in the chat. We can't go through everyone today, but if you want to weigh in, we're happy to hear which Patrick you're feeling.
My bad, Dr. G. Go ahead.
No worries. I think I'm kind of feeling like an 8 too. I'm like, moo-ha-ha, what's next? Ha-ha. That's how I feel. All right, so we also have one other piece of our process that we wanted to share with you. And I'm going to kick this over to APL, if you could take this.
Okay, is this open reflection just for EP or like for our group, or is it for everyone that's on the call?
Would love to, you know, for the sake of time, would love to get everyone's comment in the chat, and we will take that information from the chat, save the chat, and then use that just as feedback for our work. And if there were a couple people from the audience who want to chime in, but that would be really great.
Okay, yeah, I do want to leave the floor open for open reflection. Anyone, please feel free to either speak or ask a question to one of the youth. Or we have here, you pick a Google picture that depicts the mood of one of the sessions or what you just heard here. So I want to leave the floor open just for a second, just for the audience.
So Shalegra, Juan, I don't know if Tyra's still there. You know, I'm calling out folks. So we will have no dead space.
Wow. Okay, I'm here. What question am I answering?
You can have any questions for the youth or open reflection, how you felt about what you saw today. Are you inspired? Do you want to go save the world? Anything.
Yes to all of the things. I have been tremendously encouraged and inspired by these young folks. I love young people. I'm sorry, my dog's about to go crazy.
They have great timing, don't they?
That's because the dog wanted to reflect.
Any other reflection spaces from the audience, whether it's parents or co-workers? Want to leave that space open for you right now.
Oh, and I completely forgot to do this earlier, but I'm going to put links in the chat to the challenges and also what we talked about in all of our SDG sessions. So if you have questions in depth about what exactly we talked about, there will be information in the chat in just a second.
I'd love to say something and ask a question.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Mayada Christensen, and I'm the Director of Youth Programs at Partner for Work. And so the way that this summer has shifted learner-wise, I feel like what you all have done has been amazing in terms of a work experience and a level of depth and understanding. And I'm just so impressed with what I've seen. And I also am really thinking about how can we support and grow with you in terms of the program, and so and grow in a way that's influenced by your voice. And so I'm really curious to know, like, what's next for you? Are you sticking with a program year round? Like, what are you thinking? Because I want to be able to stay connected and benefit, have programs benefit from your influence.
That's a really good question. Thank you, Mayada. So yes, the Homewood Children's Village went into this process really anticipating building something that would grow. And that's why we made manuals, and we really took everything and formalized everything so that we can do this again, but do it better next time. The next thing, as APL mentioned, is actually our Kresge project, which will be launching in the fall, which will have many of the same components of what you saw here today. It does have a youth component and also an adult component. So if there are people from Homewood, Hazelwood, or the Hill District who would like to participate in that, please, you don't have to be only a resident. You can be a resident and someone who works there. You can be, any combination of the above, but put your email address in the chat, and we'll reach out to you. The other thing I want to mention is that starting August 17th, we're actually rolling out a process that's going to use some of the same principles to help get feedback and input from youth around the digital literacy opportunities in our community. We are putting together programming where they would actually learn skills around IT and be able to help be the bridge in the technology divide. So I don't want to go on and on, but those are just a couple of ideas. And if you'd like more conversation about that, just hit me up in the chat or send me an email. And I know GBA is also working on some things, so I'll pass it over to them.
That would be Ellen. Ellen has an emerging youth program that she can talk a little bit more about. And she works with Green Healthy Schools Academy. Katie is also on the line if she'd like to talk about that as well. But yeah, go ahead, Ellen. I was inspired by Ellen's EYP program to merge it together with our Kresge work because one, no one wants to do double work. And two, I think it would help EYP expand its reach of neighborhoods and things like that. So if you want to talk about GHSA, if you want to talk about EYP, please feel free.
Absolutely. So we have a schools branch of the Green Building Alliance called the Green and Healthy Schools Program. We're always trying to find ways to reach youth and teachers, and we also work in facilities. So the Emerging Youth Program is for high school students. It's going to look a little differently this year. We're postponing it to start till September, but it's a way to to learn about the city of Pittsburgh and how the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are happening in Pittsburgh right now. So speakers, be online. And if you want more information, we have more on our website, and you're welcome to put your email in the chat. I'm happy to get in touch with you. But there's also lots of exciting youth things happening all over the city. We're working on a climate change committee at Woodland Hills, which 2 of our students are from there. And they're part of that climate action team. They're actually having a youth climate action summit happening at the end of October. So if you care about climate change, if you care about youth, and you care about Pittsburgh, you should totally come. Registration is going to be opening at the beginning of September. Wow, so it's a lot of information. If you want to know more about youth things happening with Green Building Alliance, I'll put my email in the chat, so I hope you can get in touch. But it's very exciting, and that program, the Emerging Youth Program, inspired this Learn and Earn, which I hope will be back again next year. Don't want to be too presumptive, but I hope so, because this is such a good opportunity, and I learned so much from these students. So thank you,
Ellen.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
I can say to some degree, Learn and Earn will look very different in future years based on some of the awesome things that folks have evolved the program to be this summer. So I think what you guys have done to me is a great example of how I feel like Pittsburgh young people have thrived in this global pandemic in the way that they've been able to have some youth employment that's been really meaningful and great. And so I think that this is definitely something we can build from for sure.
Thank you.
There's if there aren't any questions from the floor, there is one final reflection question that was asked in the chat. And Mayada, yes, we will definitely stay connected with you. For the participants, Katie asked, what was your favorite sustainability, your SDG challenge, if you had one? Did you guys have a favorite challenge?
Oh yeah, I did. Mine was most definitely the it was either the one where I played my ukulele or the one where I was doing semi-realism.
Oh, you know you have to play us out, right?
We did not practice that. Poor Naya. Hey Naya,
ukulele?
what was the challenge? What was the challenge where you played ukulele? Didn't it have something to do with not using technology?
Oh yeah, it was like not using technology for an hour or something like that.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah.
Mariah and Nadira, did you guys have favorite challenges?
Yeah, my favorite challenge is probably when I practiced some Japanese.
And that was your no technology challenge, yeah?
Yeah.
Nadira?
I have to say my favorite one was like where I taught myself pixel art.
That was also the no technology challenge.
Oh wait, that was self-taught.
Naya, do you have your ukulele?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I grab it off the bag real quick?
Yes. All right, everyone. As Naya runs to get her ukulele to play I think she's going to play the SpongeBob SquarePants Rip My Pants song. If you'd like to stay for a beautiful little treat that we've been enjoying all summer, like a hidden gem, I would love to share it with you. Also, Naya, you need to put your stuff on Etsy so we can buy it. That would be great. And also, thank you everyone for joining us. We were very excited about this. We had a couple youth that weren't able to show up today, but you did see some of their work. So I want to say I really value everyone. I really value our participants. I really hope to see you guys again soon. And thank you. And I'm gonna leave it up to the maestro Naya to get her ukulele going and play.
Naya, while you're doing that, let me just give a shout out to, we got somebody from the West Coast, so they 3 hours early and they've been rocking with us. So I want to shout out the Director of Innovation from the Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District, Dr. Devon Smith. So I just wanted to let y'all know, young people, that your reach is nationwide. And if there's anybody else out there who got up early to rock with us on a Friday, definitely want to salute and shout you all out as well. So Naya, that was me covering time for you to get ready. So take us out, all right?
Still not ready yet. Gotta tune it.
Oh, okay.
If y'all can,
the old tune trick. Oh, you gonna say
no,
talk?
Wait,
listen.
You can tune it. Take your time, tune it. But let's
talk amongst yourselves, right?
Wait, but we gotta thank. We gotta thank Dr. G though. Did we do a thank you for Dr. G who pulled us all together and has been so instrumental in making this happen?
Yes,
Could not have done it
with a smile.
With a smile.
With a smile.
Yes. She can record, answer questions in the chat, and direct students all at the same time.
And text with parents and do everything. Respond with emails. Yes.
So great.
Teamwork, guys. Teamwork. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to. Hey, I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else other than you guys again.
Are there any other questions for Nadira and Mariah while Naya is getting tuned? You can feel free to put them in the chat.
What ignited the passion for social change and climate change for the students? That's a really deep question.
All right, Kelsey.
Nadira or Mariah, do you know why you have a passion for social and climate change?
Passionate. Well, I mean, I've been passionate since I was very young, like about 7, 8, or 9, around that age. But I'm just so passionate about it because like it's really important, and then it's like also in your face obvious that like capitalism is kind of tearing the world apart.
Straight to the point than most politicians.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love the no chaser with the answer. Like, yo, just look around. It's a problem. It's real.
You're so right. You're right.
Don't come to planet Earth. Like, turn around.
Basically, yes, exactly. When you telling aliens, like, nah, keep it moving, B, you don't want this.
The human body wasn't so weak, I'd be living on one of the gas giants right now.
Then you gotta create that so we can do that.
Mariah, do you have an answer to this question?
Yeah.
What's your passion for social and climate change? Why you feel like you're passionate about it?
I guess I'm passionate about it because, I gotta live through it. And like sometimes I get worried about like people I care about. And for climate change, I guess it's making people sick. I got asthma. That stuff hurt. Especially when I can't breathe.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. And I know we talked a lot about air quality, especially in relation to where you live and now where I live, in frontline communities and in environmental justice communities out here in the East. So thank you. That's mad true. Asthma hurts. Can't just run as fast as you want to before you start losing some breath. All right. How's your sister doing?
Can you hear progress?
Well, yeah.
I say she just plays.
Yeah, I mean, because
Go ahead and just play. Not
Yeah.
At 11:04, we got to go, Naya. Come on.
yes, let's say
They gotta go.
So it happens in this spontaneous.
Yep.
not ready.
This ain't working. No.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We'll have to have a
If
special
y'all give me like
concert.
5 more minutes, I can
Nah.
get tuned.
No.
5 more minutes.
We
is
have a
gonna-
recording, but we do have a recording of Naya that we can send to people if you want to
Yes,
see it.
Five more minutes may lower our SpongeBob checkout numbers. It'd be like, I was an 8 until I was waiting. Now I'm a 3.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Well, I
all
just
good.
want to thank everybody for coming today. We're going to go ahead and close out. We're looking forward to hearing from some of you all. And frankly, I would love to hear what you all did this summer. So thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Peace, everybody.
Bye,
Peace,
everyone.
peace. Be safe.
Happy Friday, happy weekend.
All right.
Wow, the number of participants is dropping like my iPhone battery.